Do you know what lies beyond the clouds? Located within the eastern cordillera of what is known as southern Peru is a mountain ridge that stretches 1,430 meters. The ridge is known today as the Andes Mountains. Tucked into the perilous mountain valley, considered sacred by the people who live there, is a mountain citadel built by an empire long gone. We're of course talking about the Great Pyramids of Giza. Haha, no, of course not, you silly goose. Everyone and their mother knows this magnificent wonder as the famed Machu Picchu. To get there, we're going to take off for the Cusco region of Peru, South America, glide through the Urubamba province into the Machu Picchu district, and south to the Sacred Valley that is 80 kilometers from the city of Cusco. Along the way, we'll view the surrounding landscape from the summit, formed from years of activity alongside the Urubamba River. We'll explore this ancient site, its connection to the Inca peoples, and its history, which stretches back to the 1400s. Before we do this though, make sure to like this video and smash the absolute crap out of that subscribe button. Let's get to it. Machu Picchu is an ancient citadel of the Incas located in the Andes Mountains of Peru. It is believed to have been built in the 15th century and was rediscovered by the American explorer and Yale University lecturer Hiram Bingham in 1911. The site is situated on a mountain ridge about 2,430 meters above sea level and offers a spectacular view of the surrounding landscape. Hiram described the site saying that, in the variety of its charms and the power of its spell, I know of no other place in the world which can compare with it. Like Hiram Bingham did when discovering the site, you'll notice upon arrival that most of Machu Picchu is now in ruins. Stone foundational outlines are what clearly were a part of a thriving city with temples, palaces, and residential buildings. The brilliant builders of this site, the Incas, were a people who had a complex religious system and believed in a pantheon of gods that controlled the natural world and the fate of the empire. They also had a strong tradition of ancestor worship and believed that the spirits of their ancestors could influence the present. Knowing this, it makes sense that their temples are some of the most recognizable of the remaining structures in the complex. One of the most important religious sites in Machu Picchu is the Temple of the Sun. The Temple of the Sun is believed to have been used for religious purposes and also for studying the stars and other astronomical phenomena. Built on top of a natural cave, the remains of this structure is the only circular building at Machu Picchu. Despite its granite makeup, it was once covered in gold and silver ornaments before being pillaged by Spanish conquistadors. One other notable structure at Machu Picchu includes the Sacred Plaza, which was used for religious ceremonies, and the Intihuatana, a stone structure that was used as an astronomical observatory. Many different studies were pursued at this central location of Machu Picchu, such as scientific studies that included, but aren't limited to, astrology, astronomy, geology, physics, math, and topography. More fascinatingly, these topics were heavily intertwined with the religious beliefs of the Incas, with science as a whole being inspired by their various deities. Another significant part of Machu Picchu is the Temple of the Three Windows, which is thought to have been a royal palace. Do you know how this temple got its name? If you answered because it has 3 windows, then you are correct. If you didn't get that, then I don't know what to tell you. The Temple of the Three Windows features 3 large trapezoidal windows, which were designed to align with the rising sun during the winter solstice. Originally though, there never were 3 windows. There were 5, but the other 2 windows are no longer remaining. The 3 windows still standing represent different parts of the world, one being the underground Ucapacha, another being the heaven Hananpacha, and the last window being the present time we live in, also referred to as Kpacha. If that wasn't enough, the site also features extensive terracing, which was probably used for agriculture to support the city's population and to prevent landslides. Machu Picchu was also known for its irrigation systems, which were used to bring water to the terraces and to the city's residents. The Incas built a series of channels and aqueducts to transport water from the nearby mountains. These systems were designed to withstand earthquakes and other natural disasters, and they are still functioning today. Based on a predominant amount of structures connected to the religious worship of the Incas, scholars have debated whether the place was a religious center or a high mountain fortress. The addition of the palace in Machu Picchu has led others to believe that it was a royal estate, a residence for the Inca emperor and his family, and also a religious, administrative, and agricultural center. These theories have always led travelers and researchers alike to the same questions, such as, how were the Incas able to build Machu Picchu with formidable architectural design despite the lack of necessary tools? The construction of Machu Picchu has to be one of the most mysterious aspects of the site, especially considering the fact that the Incas, unlike most of the world, had not possessed perhaps one of the most single important technologies ever created in the world: the wheel. This invention from around 4000 BC helped humanity significantly advance in sectors such as transportation and agriculture. So, without this imperative technology, how were advanced people such as the Incas and their predecessors able to thrive for centuries and accomplish such great architectural feats such as Machu Picchu? The Inca civilization was a complex society that developed in the Andean region of South America, primarily in present-day Peru, between the 12th and 16th centuries. The Incas were skilled architects, engineers, and farmers, and their empire extended across much of the western coast of South America, from modern-day Ecuador to Chile. The Inca Empire was the largest empire in pre-Columbian America, and the largest empire in the world at that time, with nearly 10 million subjects at its height. They were led by a powerful emperor who was believed to be the son of the sun god Inti. The Incas had a complex social hierarchy, with the emperor at the top, followed by the nobles, priests, and commoners. There is also evidence that they had a well-organized system of government, with a central bureaucracy that oversaw the administration of the empire. Being skilled builders and engineers, they constructed a vast network of roads and terrace farms throughout their empire, another one of these feats being Machu Picchu. Due to the decline of the empire in the early 16th century, because of a combination of factors such as internal conflict, disease, and the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors led by Francisco Pizarro, many of its cultural and architectural traditions were lost. Nevertheless, this ancient Inca citadel is a testament to their ingenuity and resourcefulness. There is no evidence that wheels, beasts of burden, or iron tools were even used in the construction of the structure, so there are only speculations on what might have enabled the people to engineer the complex with such detail and correct orientation to astronomical patterns. According to available records, the construction of Machu Picchu began in the mid-15th century, during the reign of the Inca emperor Pachacuti. Using only stone, clay, and wood to build the city, it is estimated that the construction required thousands of people to complete it. Sadly, there are no texts or written documents that preserve the process of their construction though. Based on research conducted in and around the area, we do know that the Incas were skilled stone masons and were able to shape the stones with great precision, allowing them to fit together perfectly. They must have begun by clearing the site of vegetation and leveling the terrain. The Incas would then have built the network of terraces we can see today to create flat areas for further construction and agriculture. There is reason to believe that they then constructed the buildings using a technique called ashlar masonry, which involves shaping and fitting large stone blocks together without the use of mortar for the structures there. Additional carvings and sculptures could then be added with what must have been stone chisels and hammers. A prime example of this can be seen in the large stone blocks that make up the previously mentioned Temple of the Sun. It is estimated that the blocks weighed up to 50 tons and were transported from a quarry located several miles away. Similar to the Temple of the Three Windows, these blocks are aligned with the rising sun during the winter solstice. Today, the legacy of the Incas can be seen in the many ruins and artifacts that remain in the Andean region, more specifically, in the customs and traditions of the indigenous people who still live there. Its construction was a monumental task that required years of planning, hard work, and skilled labor. Needless to say, the Incas have had a lasting impact on the region's art, architecture, and culture, and their legacy continues to be studied and celebrated by scholars and tourists alike. The site's remote location and impressive architectural features suggest that it had a ceremonial and religious significance, and despite the ongoing discussion about its origins and use, it thrives on the continued study and visits by people from around the world. In fact, not only is Machu Picchu now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but it is one of the most popular tourist destinations in South America. Even today, it continues to be studied by archaeologists and historians to learn more about the Inca civilization and its rich cultural heritage. We'd like to dedicate today's episode to our dear friend TJ. This is an inside joke that only he will understand. So, if you're watching this, TJ, we're sorry about your trip to Peru. If you enjoy learning more about the history and cultures of the past, like this video and subscribe for more. We make it a goal here on our channel to study various sites like Machu Picchu to give them the spotlight that they deserve. Also, please share this to a fellow history lover that you know. We'll see you next time, only on Amateur Archaeology.